What up, what up? Title clickbait as fuck. Though, I guess I am gonna expose myself. Just a smidgen. How's the lighting? It looks dark to me, but I can't tell. So, you let me know if you can see me good. Oh no, YouTube playing with my numbers again. Alright, let me take a few more bites of this bread because I be hungry. Wheat bread. No Barrett out here sharing it out. Good looks. I posted on my Instagram that I was going live, so we'll see if anybody from over there comes in, joins in on the fun. You know, people like to get on here late. Alright, so boom. Reason why I put Hey Lady Kit exposed as the title, excuse me, I'm deep conditioning right now, so that's a little, going on. Super Hotep today. Hotep level 9,000. I absolutely hate that phrase, or that phrase to associate yourself as some type of woke being or something, that you Hotep. That's like saying I'm peace. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Hotep means right now. If we don't know that yet, that's what Hotep means peace, right? So when people use that to kind of, to make that as who they are, then I mean, like, I get it, you a being that believes in peace, but that's like saying I'm namaste. I'm a namaste in namaste Twitter, but yeah, that's besides the point. What's up, Barrett? Peace to my mod. I forgot I made you a mod yesterday. Yeah, that's what's up, because I don't got the time to be hitting and clicking and all that stuff. So all right, so boom, right? Reason why I labeled this exposed, because I feel like even if I have the small following that I do now, right? The few people that come out here and watch me, I feel like because of the message that I'm trying to put out, people would like try to find some fault in me, or even if it's not people in my own community, in our own community, that people outside the community are so quick to just latch on to trigger words and not listen to the whole message, or the whole message that you're trying to put out. They're just like, they hear me say something about gay people, and they are automatically assume that I'm homophobic, and I don't think gay people should have rights, and I don't think they should exist, when that's not true at all. The same as when I spit some stuff about feminine energy, I was startled, like, what? Yeah, I'm gonna expose myself. So to an extent, to a degree, I'm not gonna let you know everything. That's for personal stuff. Like Barrett, we'll talk off live and stuff like that. I will actually talk through text message. And shoot, I don't mind saying anything to you because you proven yourself to be, you know, kind of true blue. Like, I don't think you would use that information against me, but I'm not gonna let everybody know on live everything about me. But I will let y'all know certain things to kind of give you an insight onto my stances. Like I said, some people will hear me talk about some you know, feminist thing and automatically assume that I don't think women should have rights, which is completely asinine because I am a woman. So of course, you know, I'm not gonna say I don't want no rights, and I'm not gonna say that any man should be, you know, overbearing or put his foot on my neck or anything like that, like some of these cats out here be preaching. Black Israelites. What? Excuse me? Yeah. Like them dudes. You know, I think somebody on here was the one that told me that they believe women shouldn't wear pants. Like, silly stuff like that, which I don't agree with. I don't align with at all. But I'm able to look at things objectively and see that there is an agenda. There are co-opted King Jamesites. Yes. There are co-opted like groups and stuff like that, like Black Lives Matters, the feminists. They're all co-opted, you know. They started out as a legitimate, you know, kind of grassroots organizations. Peace Martinez, what's up? Yeah, we in here. I ain't forget about your whole little Drake thing. You a little suspect to me with that whole Drake thing. But I did end up remembering the song, and I think you was the one that said "Peace Up, A-Town Down," and that didn't resonate with me because it's called "Bang," but that is the song that I had. That is the song that I had, and I had T.I.'s part on the song. So yeah, so they would just take my words and kind of like flip it. So boom, just a little bit about me. If you go anywhere on my older videos, especially on this YouTube page, because I had this YouTube page. Yeah, it was super lit. That made me feel super like gangsta. It gave me beer muscles as a motherfucker. Like, I thought I was, at that point in time, I think I was maybe 15 years old when around the time that song came out, and I was traveling like different, like I kind of like got my like little independence, and I was traveling to different hoods, and one of the hoods that I had went to in Boston, the neighborhoods is Roxbury, but specifically Magnolia Street. And if anybody on here is from Boston and they hear Magnolia Street back in the day, they know what's up, because the mag wasn't nothing nice. So I had a friend that lived over there, and I would just be out there and, you know, thinking I'm like, you know, hot shit, thinking I'm like super hood, you know, because I'm over here with these gangsters and where they be doing drive-bys and killing, you know, thinking that giving me street cred, you know, when you're younger. And especially the time, like I said, that music that was pumping out, they was pumping out real gangster music. So I was listening to Bang. I'm like, yeah, I'm listening to Jeezy. I'm in the trap right now. You know what I mean? Like, real silly stuff. But little did you know, I was just in there, me and my homegirl smoking weed, and we was just chilling, talking, you know, doing regular girl stuff. It's not like I was out on the block, you know, selling crack or nothing like that. I did hella reckless shit at that age. I mean, we all did, you know what I'm saying? That's, you know, that's how we grow, you know what I'm saying? We rather do it at that age than, you know, being 28 years old, hanging out on Magnolia Street thinking I'm hood, and actually getting into some gangster shit because I'm older. Easy and impressionable at that age. Absolutely at that age as well. From, I want to say 15 to maybe 19 years old, I was super impressionable and super swayed by what was going on in like mass media and entertainment, what was going on with my peers and stuff like that. I let that influence me a lot. So like I was saying, you can see on this page, you can see a lot of where my mindset was. Like, I was still woke. I wouldn't say woke, but I was still open-minded, I was aware, and I expressed myself quite differently than anybody else, but I was still kind of into that whole little facade, that shell that we put up to make it seem like we are the same as everybody else. Like, you know, oh, I think about the same stuff that you do. You know, I listen to the same music that you do. You know, I use the same words and phrases that you do. You know, I want to get money. You know, I'm trying to be hip. I'm trying to be cool. You know, we smoke our weed. We'll drink our Hennessy. We'll do this and we'll do that. We'll chill. You know, we'll go to parties. We'll, you know, like at that age it's acceptable because at that time you are still kind of finding yourself. You know, you're finding yourself, and it's where you're tested, right? Whether you're gonna be going left or right, which path are you gonna take at that point in time? Are you gonna stay on that path of, you know, just drinking, fake gang banging, and doing all this type of stuff? When Boosie and Jeezy came out, I was on the block with my pack and grip, thought I was a cocaine cowboy. Left. I don't know what left means. I don't know what you're saying right there. Thought I was a cocaine cowboy. I mean, like I said, I was exposed to that type of stuff, and I was in the street. Like, I didn't sell crack myself, but I was with somebody who did that, you know. I didn't, you know, gang bang. I didn't rob niggas, but I was around people who did that. You know what I'm saying? So it was just kind of like the 6 degrees of separation type thing where I knew people who can handle stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's that little portion, right? I think it was you, Barrett, that said, you know, those of us who grew up in the hood and in the streets and stuff like that, those of us who grew up in the hood and in the streets, it's either we're deep into it or we are associates, right? There's no way around it to kind of like survive in that area, because you can't be a square, you can't be no, like, you know, little pussy person, because you get eaten up, like dudes and females. I went to 3 funerals and was over it. You know, it wasn't until later on in my life that people close to me that I knew got taken, but I seen it, you know, like I seen it on the mag. I seen it in my hood in Mattapan. At around that time as well, there was a lot of murders in the area that I grew up in. When my homie got shot, it hit me hard. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's at that time that we kind of wake up to this stuff, you know, like I would get up and be on my way to work, and I would walk up my street and see, you know, yellow tape, and see somebody's sneakers laying in the street because they had already taken the body, and see somebody's sneakers laying in the street, see blood on the pavement and stuff. It was just real nasty. In Boston, it's not like we had set gangs, you know what I'm saying? It's not like we had Crips and Bloods. We didn't have folk or anything like that. We had people who were associated with that, but most of the gangs were just like literal street gangs. So you rep the street like the Magnolia Street. You rep that street. In my hood, you had Greenwood. It is really stupid because Boston is so small, and the fact that you have one street literally beefing with the street next to it is ridiculous. I really started looking at hip-hop culture as low-key toxic, even though I still love it. I hate how casual they talk about taking a life. Yeah. So it's really sad. So like I said, if when you grow up in the hood, to kind of not keep that target on your back, you gotta associate yourself with these people, or put out the front that that you're not to be messed with, basically. Like, you're not no pussy. You grow up and like Sabir said, either you in the streets or you from the streets. I'm from the streets. I'm not in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And I had to rep the streets to make it so that I was safe, you know, maneuvering around Boston. Clearly you do need attention, but nobody cares. I had to kind of like do that to maneuver myself around Boston, especially at being a female. I'm like 5'2". I've always been small, you know, I've always been a petite female. So especially going around in these streets in the hoods in Dorchester and in Roxbury like that, I had to make it was like a thank you, Barrett. It was like a, I want to say like a not a tree frog, but like a blowfish, right? So a blowfish is mad small, but when it feels threatened, it blows up and makes itself look mad big. That was me. I was the blowfish. So I kind of had to like make it so like I held my. I've gotten jumped a few times. Like I remember I was on my way home from school. Me and this girl, this Haitian girl, and she was so pretty. And we were just riding together, and some girls from this like really known school in Boston. If anybody is from Boston, you know what school I'm talking about, over there by Roxbury Crossing. So they get on the train, they start some stuff with my girl, and then they jump both of us. Like there was like about 5 or 6 of them, and they jumped both of us. They started a fight with us once they got on the train. At the very next stop, they got off of the train and ran. Like, so it's what I'm saying. Like even females have to kind of like be able to put out that front. Like you can't look meek. You can't look like, you know, you a scrub. You gotta be able to hold your own. So I've been through that little phase of my life. I've been through the I feel you. Crazy thing is, real gangsters protect you when you're trying to do good. I had a lot of older homies tell me to do better. Yeah, exactly, because they realize the predicament that they're in. They realize once you're really in the streets, not from the streets. When you're saying in the streets, it's really hard to get out of the streets. And I know a lot of dudes who are stuck in the streets because, you know, they've been in there so long and they really don't know how to maneuver outside of it. So I've done that. I've faked gangsta. I faked, faked like being a tough and like a tough hood and stuff like that. But mostly it was like a defense mechanism to survive those areas that I was going through. I did the whole bisexual thing. And that's a whole nother like deep story about myself. My mom is gay. She claims like she's gay now. Obviously she wasn't when she had me, my brother, and my sister married to my dad. So but then when she separated and divorced from my dad, she started dating a woman. And it was around that time as well that kind of my here comes the nugget. My sexual feelings for women kind of grew out of that. So again, that's what I'm saying. I'm exposing myself. Nugget. I got my stepson here, so he's Gucci. So don't worry about him. So yeah, I did that whole little bisexual thing. And like I said, if you go anywhere on this page, you can see how I wrote raps and stuff like that, and I was talking about all these things, and you know, it was a lot of the Nicki Minaj influence at the time as well. Hold on one second. Nugget. Silly boy. All right. Hey, you want some bread? I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't talking to you. So, Yeah, I went through that whole little phase as well. Um, and like I said, when I speak of things, I speak through experience. So I can only speak through my experience and what I know and what I see and what I research and all those things. So when I talk about things like the gay agenda, it's not coming from a place of hate because I was in that community. I was in the LGBT community. My mom is gay and stuff like that. So how did you get out of that phase, the bi phase? Well, see, it wasn't a phase. It wasn't a phase for me. It wasn't because of and that's why I was saying yesterday, we are pumped in subliminally at a young age, either chemically or outside forces, so forces of trauma, right? So it wasn't, I was 13 years old and I started saying, oh, it's bisexual. No, when I was young, I want to say maybe third or fourth grade, I kissed a girl in the bathroom, and I was like, oh yeah, she's my wife, and da 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 da. And this is, I think, right after my mom and my dad had separated. But before any of this happened, before my mom and my dad separated, my dad used to have like a lot of pornography around, and it was girl on girl pornography. And this was around the time of the black box, right? The little black box A and B side, where you can get Playboy and stuff like that all for free. So he would have those and he would be watching. So at a young age, I was exposed to that. So that's what I'm saying. When you're exposed to stuff, Daddy's home, Nugget. Yeah, when you're exposed to stuff at a young age is how it kind of like determines. What's up? Peace. Is how it determines like your outlook on life. So, but that was something I kind of had to hide, right? Because at that point in time, so fifth grade, it was 2000 actually. I was 10 years old in 2000. So it wasn't cool at that point in time. Even all the way up into high school, freshman year of high school, it still wasn't cool. It actually didn't become cool until Nicki Minaj became out, and she was talking about girls and stuff like that. That's when it actually became cool. He's happy that his dad is home. So, yeah, exposing myself all day. So it wasn't that I got out of that phase. It's just I knew as I started studying, I started looking, I was like, okay, this makes sense as to why I started thinking like that. It's not like I was born that way. I didn't come out 3 years old thinking, oh, I like girls and da 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 da. It was kind of influenced on me. Peace. So yeah, not getting out of that phase. I wouldn't say like I, automatically woke up one day and was like, oh, I'm done with that. It was kind of like a transition. The more I started to get to know myself, the more it was like, yeah, I can understand that, and I can still appreciate the female body, but I see myself having kids, I see myself getting married, and ultimately I don't see myself doing that. I don't want to say fake, like the fake way. To have the maturity you have and be able to understand yourself is a great quality, because so many people are still lost. Yeah, they are. And the reason why is because they're worried about what society is thinking. So it's cool to them. It's cool to be going back and forth, even if you don't truly see yourself with a woman later on. It's cool to do that now, because that's what people are doing now. Like if you've seen the show She's Gotta Have It, right? She says that she's taking a break from men. So her taking a break from men means that she's going to be with women. And even still, she says that she's celibate. but she's still having sex with a woman. So how does that make you celibate if you're having sex with a woman? It doesn't make sense. So again, this is the mentality that a lot of us are growing up, or especially people in our generation and the generation after us are growing up this way. And younger and younger and younger, they're coming out saying that, oh, I'm gay, I'm bisexual, I'm this and I'm that. And like I said, this is nothing against gay people or homosexual people. And when I speak of things like the homosexual agenda, it's more about the energies that are being pushed on us to throw us off balance. And it's not saying that men shouldn't have feminine energy, because they absolutely should, but it should be balanced with the masculine energy. Same with women. Not saying women shouldn't have masculine energy, but it should be balanced with the feminine energy. And when we speak about the gay agenda, we speak specifically to men. We speak specifically to men. And when we say about breaking up the black family, we speak specifically to men. So and we, for some reason, we leave out the women in this, right? Because for some reason it's just men, right, that make families, not women. And this is the thing, this is the misconception that we have with a lot of these groups out here who are promoting this kind of agenda, or promoting this rhetoric, right? When they're promoting the gay agenda and trying to enlighten people, they're going about it strictly in a subjective manner. They are not objective at all. They can't see, I'll catch this later, I'm at work, just saying, hey, peace. They're not able to see, like, it's not just males, but it's also females. So say we correct it, right? We correct all the emasculated men. We get all the men back on the right energy, but the female's energy is still messed up. The females still are pushing out that super hyper masculinity. So how are we still going to build this family with a super hyper masculine female who feel like they don't need any men, that the only reason that they do need men is for dick and for procreation for their seed? That's all they need men for. They don't need men for anything else. How are we supposed to build a healthy family like that? People don't understand that we need both sides, the man and the female. That's why there's a huge power struggle right now. Exactly, because people are not willing to give, and they're not willing, and the people in this conscious community are solely focused on homosexual males, that they're not focused on the women in LGBT community, right? They're not focused on that because for some reason that's acceptable to them. Oh, it's the gay man that's breaking up the black family, the so-called black family. It's the gay man. It's not the gay woman. I'm okay with having a woman who likes, my girl got a girlfriend. This is just an observation, but I feel every female goes through that stage and get out of it like in their late 20s or early 30s. To me, females are just naturally curious about other females. And see, that's another theory that's put out there, and I've done research into it. And in ancient times, they're saying that too. Like when the men went out to like wars or anything like that, or even before that to like hunter gathering, and left all the women back home in the village, alone in the village, that the women were there to sit there and comfort each other and be around each other and provide emotional support and relative support. Where how we know back in the day, especially Greek and Roman days, right, when it was just men out, they would fornicate with each other because they needed to get their rocks off. Same with the women. So we can't just completely pinpoint this type of behavior. I feel like they listen to each other more than us men, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of women kind of are attracted to women, right? I think it's because of women in our populace not taking criticism greatly. I wouldn't say taking criticism greatly, I would say taking criticism gracefully. Not being able to, they're ready to point the finger and call the kettle black, but they're not ready to be, called the pot. you know. They're not ready to understand that they also have some responsibility, and they also need to take accountability. So men and female need to take accountability in this little movement that we got going on here. And until we can say that, yes, this homosexual agenda, which is not saying that gay people, you know, exactly are the reason for this. We need to understand that it's not gay people, it's the people behind it, behind the scenes. Just like it's not the artist, right? And if you're going for music, right, it's not the artist, it's the producers and the music business behind the artist that's making the artist, because the artist now doesn't have, I feel like, and as much creative power as they used to. They are sitting there and they're fed lines, they're fed beats, and they don't have as much creative. And I'm talking strictly mainstream big record labels. I'm not talking about your independents, because I know there's a lot of artists out here who are keeping their creative. Here, Nugget. I don't get to eat. He eats all my food. So we have to be able to take a step back and not try to blame the person, but realize that there is a control system behind it that's perpetrating this under us. Why are you coming under the table? So again, this is not anything. When I speak about the gay agenda, I'm talking about the control system behind it. I'm not talking about gay people, because if you look at especially gay black men, so-called black men, they're getting persecuted just at the same as straight black men, okay? Which is why they're even going a step further to go to trans to become women. But little do they know that so-called black women are also getting murdered. They're getting kidnapped. If they're intelligent, and I don't care what man actually called them, they should be able to understand you, sister. But sometimes, you know, they don't. See, Nugget, you can't. This little boy, you can't climb over this. You're not a dog yet. You're not a tough guy. So they sometimes won't be able to do that because they're so focused on trigger words. They're so focused like, oh, you're attacking me. When that's not the case. I'm not attacking them. I'm attacking the control system. Because if you look and you research this, there are things in place to back to emotionalism. Exactly. It is emotionalism, because they get so attached to things that they hold dear that it kind of clouds their judgment. Like, you hear me say the gay agenda and you automatically thinking that I'm homophobic, when that's far from the case. I have gay friends. I just told y'all my mom's gay. I just told y'all about me. So there's no way that I can be homophobic but a lot of people will be like, well, you'll be an overseer, you'll be like a gatekeeper and da-da-da. Well, if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel about me, but you don't know me personally. And the feeling of people kind of attacking me, I just don't like to feel like, you know, my point is being missed, because the whole point, homophobia, exactly. Do I fear my mom? Do I hate my mom? Like, I don't. Like, my mom. Right. See, daddy's home. The Nugget can't mess around over here. Like, my mom and like, I feel there's a whole thing with my mom, and like I said, if I'm close to you, then I'll expose all of that, but I'm not gonna expose that on live. So there's a whole thing, but no, at the end of the day, my mom is gonna be her, and she's gonna, like I said about everybody, the divine being comes through us, and we're going to experience whatever we choose to experience in this life. So if you choose to, we all got one in our family. Maybe low key. Some people got them low key, right? Some people still don't are not subscribing to this whole I gotta be gay thing. You know, some people still are trying to like work through those feelings. So that's that part. what other thing that I wanted to go into? But yeah, so this whole like Hotep thing, like I don't feel like oh, he ain't low key, he a high key. Heterophobia, the fear of alphas, right? But there's no such thing as heterophobia, right? Like if you want to talk about the whole Genuine thing, whether or not he does that behind the scenes, I don't think I got gays in my family. Well, you in Trinidad, so even if you do, they wouldn't say it. That's where they would be low key. All throughout the Caribbean, they wouldn't come out and say it. Just lost my train of thought. I seen Brendan in here. Brendan about to come in and be popping right now. Yeah, in the Caribbean, you can't really come out and say that because they're still just like in Africa. You know what I'm saying? They still kill people over that type of stuff. So I don't. My whole thing is unity. It's not division. I don't want to outcast a certain part of our people. Like I don't want to outcast LGBT outside of our group. I don't want to outcast women. I don't want to outcast anybody, right? Barrett, don't play, Brendan. So tread lightly. I don't want to outcast anybody. My whole thing is for us to be unified. Nah, not really. They cool with gays now. When I was living in Jamaica 2 years ago, I was surprised at how many. Where? I want to know where. I got to hear this story. They still ain't gonna pass no laws for them, though. Because it's still wholly Christian Catholic community. You know, they still fully believe in the white Jesus whole paradigm thing, you know, the imposed religion on us. That's why I feel homosexuality deal with only pleasure. I mean, like you were mostly deal with pleasure. So like you were saying though, like with women, they're going to other women based on socially, like the emotional connection and the emotional support, right? They feel safer, so-called safer with women. But what we don't hear about a lot is the abuse that women go through in same-sex relationships. Yeah, they're still Christian, but the stereotypes is exaggerated. The Caribbean changed. Nah, that's Trinidad, not in Mo Bay. Nola Darling. Oh, yeah. Yes. So, yeah, I touched on She's Gotta Have It, right? So they feel so-called safer with women, but we don't hear about at all the kind of abuse, the emotional abuse, even physical abuse in same-sex relationships with women. Nah, bro, I lived in Mo Bay. They were out. I was surprised. Yeah, there's a documentary on YouTube talking about the Gully Queens. It's about, I think, I wouldn't call them transgender, but they were cross-dressing in Jamaica, and how it's like a whole little subculture. It's actually really interesting. Yes, they are out there, but like I said, they still like, you have the alpha males out there who will still kill them, basically. Yes, it's called Gully Queens, the Gully Queens in Jamaica. I believe it was actually in Kingston, not Mo Bay, that this documentary had taken place. And it was actually really sad to me because these young men get kicked out of their families because, I saw that Gully Queen documentary before I went. That's propaganda. How so? I saw that. But yeah, they live in the sewers. And my husband's Jamaican, so, I can ask him about it, specifically. My people sick, though, they be bleaching too. Yeah, that's a whole nother That's the Eurocentric colorism type thing. And it's crazy that it's the men as well as the women too. That the men are bleaching their bodies because women want a light skinned man. That's another thing I wanted to kind of like ask y'all. So me, because we talked about Kodak Black, right? And his preference for light skinned women. And how he said all these things about dark skinned women, da, 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 da. I wanna ask y'all opinion on females, right? So my preference is dark skin. I want, and the reason why is because I want more melanin for my child, right? I want a melanin. I want to put melanin back into my bloodline. Yeah, that's crazy. I be seeing the eye dark, but their face almost fair skin. I stayed around the university. There were gay lectures and shit. One of the popular girls was like, "Wow, that's crazy." Well, the documentary was in like, I want to say late 2000s, early 2010s. So you said two years ago. So that's been quite some time. So maybe the culture has changed that much drastically. Thank you, Alkaline, for that. But again, you still, like, if you hear music, those in the music business still talking about, killing the Bati boy and all them things. So when I went to Jamaica, I remember I was walking along the beach, and then you know how they have like those little beach bars all over the place. And I remember this dude get into a fight, and he pulled out a machete talking about he's going to kill somebody who he suspected to be a Batimani. It wasn't that he was. He said he just suspected that. And there was like a huge fight, and I was like, yo, I need to get out of here because I'm not about this life. So like I said, maybe it's certain areas that you was in, but I don't think the culture has completely changed throughout the island. You want to go to more rural areas. That happened in Negril, and Negril is one of the more I think one of the biggest tourist traps, because you can go to Mobay, you can go to Ochi, but a lot of people, especially Europeans, go to Negril when they're tourists. Probably the tourist, that was the tourist area where that happened with me. That was the tourist area. It was in Negril. So yeah. I gotta see if he's leaving or not. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Somebody tell me where I was going with this. I got to scroll up on the oh, the bleaching thing, right? They be bleaching, like their whole face be looking white, but you look at their hands, they be dark as hell. Oh yeah, colorism, right? So if I say that I wanted to be with a dark skinned person, yeah, if I wanted to be with a dark skinned person because I wanted to have more melanin in my family, does that make me colorist? Am I perpetrating colorism? That's what I want. I was thinking about that because I was thinking about the whole Kodak Black thing and how they were saying, it doesn't matter what their skin color is. It's about the person. And if you say you have any type of preference, and if you make it so, because light-skinned dudes, to me, don't have that much melanin. And we have been conditioned so much to keep marrying lighter and lighter and lighter. And so our offspring can become lighter and closer to white. So I kind of want to do the reverse and marry darker and darker and darker, and so my offspring could be dark. Preference is a preference to me. And even still, like, I sit here and I'll go out in the sun and stuff like that. I keep saying, like, I in the wintertime now, like, I'm super light skinned, and when I was young, it would be like light bright. Even still to this day, people light bright, high yellow and stuff like that. And those are, my wife is dark skinned, but I don't mind lighter toned women. See, I never really dated a light skinned person, a light skinned dude. You leaving? One second. What are you looking for?
Citizenship certificate. Oh.
So yeah, I never really dated a light skinned person because I always wanted to be darker myself. So, but what I'm saying is that type of colorism, never really cared about a sister's skin tone. But I realized people throw shade at lighter skinned blacks for no reason, kind of balance it out. To kind of balance it out. Yeah, people always like to say, oh, light skin have it easier, da da da, but we don't have it easier from our own people. Our own people be the ones who treat us worse. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they'll say, oh, like, well, it's easier for you to get a man, da 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 da. Well, no one likes to think that, oh, the reason why the dude is talking to me over you is because of my skin, and people, especially me, who kind of was like aware of this type of stuff, is like, I don't want somebody who want me just because of my skin. That don't make no sense. But at the same time, I wasn't checking for any light skinned dudes. I have a friend who light skinned and dudes hate on him for no reason. Come through with the fire channels, King. Come through with the fire channels. Yeah, light skinned dudes, they get they're soft. And check out Chrissy. I might have to remember that. Probably have to leave it in the comments for me to remember after this. Yeah, light skinned dudes is soft and da 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 da, and I don't see that. I don't know why you're under the table, Nugget. Move through. A little goofy behind. Huh? Because he threw it on the floor. Get out of here. Where's your juice? Where's your juice? Can you go get his tablet from there? His tablet. Get his tablet from Amari. Amari, bring Micah his tablet, please.
And his juice.
I think he drank all the juice. I think the most mature men don't have a preference, but y'all women now, I know you ain't speaking on all of them. But that's what I'm saying. I was talking about me specifically. Like, is it bad that I'm colorist, that I prefer darker skinned men, especially because we've been so conditioned to want to date and marry lighter, especially in the Latino community. No, not true. I had to fight for everything. That's why I'm glad I went through that, because I was able to transfer that energy into this divine Moorish movement. Give thanks, yo. For real. For real. But even still, like I said, I'm continuously learning every day. So that was just a revelation that I had last night or the night before that. I was like, damn, am I colorist? I'll be honest, colorism pisses me off because I don't really care about our differences, but people don't stay consistent with that energy because people choose. And yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, do I suffer from self-hate because I don't like, well, not that I don't like, but I want to be darker. I want to be a darker skin, and is that something that kind of like has been perpetrated on me since I was younger, because the lighter you was, and people don't like to talk about this type of stuff, that when it's always like, oh, dark skinned women, colorism is a one-sided topic. Yes it is, and I feel like people don't open up more, and we're not real, just like how we're not willing to sit and look at somebody and understand their point of view, right? We just want to hear them speak so we can reply. We don't hear them speak so we can, understand. Same thing with this colorism topic. It's always, oh, dark-skinned women have it bad, dark-skinned women this and that, we get treated bad, we get treated this. But it's like, you don't understand, as being a light-skinned female, and I can only speak strictly on the women thing, right? Because I'm a woman, and I don't know how it is to be a dark-skinned man or a light-skinned man. But strictly coming from women, it's like when you're around dark-skinned females or any type of so-called black women, right? They already assume that you got some type of like uppity attitude. Some of the same women crying about colorism were the same ones talking about little boys' skin tones. Yes, because I feel like colorism, when we think of colorism, we only associate that with women, and especially with dark-skinned women. We don't associate it with light-skinned women or with men, period. So with me, it's like dark-skinned women kind of don't want to befriend me, like, bye. They don't want to befriend me. They already think I have like some type of stuck up attitude. And then it's like when oh hell yeah, me too. I'm the lightest tone copper in my family up until my younger cousin and my youngest daughter. But I feel you. Yeah, even like I said, I'm half Cape Verdean, so we got heavy Portuguese influence in our family. So I have family members lighter than me. Like I said, my mom could be mistaken for a European. My grandmother definitely could be mistaken for a European. I have plenty of cousins who could be mistaken for Europeans because they have no melanin in their skin. They have light eyes, some of them. They have straight blonde hair, some of them naturally blonde hair. And that's what I'm saying. So I grew up around this, and I grew up seeing them having lighter skin. I grew up seeing darker skin not really celebrated that much in my family and in my culture. I grew up, feeling the disconnect from other sisters who, didn't really associate with me because I was lighter skinned, and adversely, my so-called Latina sisters who didn't really associate with me because I had kinkier hair or I had darker skin, or I kind of wanted to be or associate like with so-called black people, right? But like for me especially, it's like I can't say I want to associate with so-called black people when I feel like we're all the same. Even if you're Latina or Latino, we're still the same people. We all been colonized, and being first generation American, since my mom was born in Africa, my father was born in Cuba, we were the first born generation here. It was kind of like a smashing of cultures. Like I grew up in an immigrant family. They had brought over their cultures from wherever they was, and then I kind of was thrown in, especially in the 90s and early 2000s. I was thrown into this kind of American culture. But I grew up, like that. I didn't grow up. It wasn't like we had like a huge community, you know what I'm saying, where I was kind of like exposed to everything is what I'm trying to say. And being exposed to everything kind of opened my eyes, like, yo, there's real life problems in this, especially Cape Verdean culture, where we celebrate light, bright, white skin, light eyes, straight blonde hair, and hair like mine isn't celebrated. Skin tones like mine isn't really that celebrated. So I feel like does that kind of like affect my colorism thing? Yeah. I promised that he wasn't going to be over here Hulk smashing throughout my whole life, but here he is Hulk smashing throughout my whole life. So that was kind of like the revelation I had to myself, and I still have to do some like deep thinking and deep thought, like, yo, that's crazy that I can point out all this type of colorism, but is that me also kind of playing into it, wanting to be darker and wanting to marry darker and wanting to have my kids, because I'll even be talking to my son like, you're not gonna want to marry no like light-skinned girl, you got to marry the melanated sister and stuff like that. So the stuff that even I'm doing is kind of like pushing that paradigm on him as well. But it's like the whole can so-called black people be racist argument. You know, if we've been, you know, kind of led to believe that the lighter is brighter and but I'm pushing the whole polarized opposite, like, nah, the darker the better, you know, the blacker the better, the sweeter the juice, and all these type of things. Am I wrong for that? I need somebody to call me out on that, because I'll sit here and kind of like justify it to myself. But the thing is I'm being super open and honest with y'all, and I can receive those type of criticisms from y'all. Like, am I colorist? Am I wrong? You must have watched that on the Grapevine too. I've only watched a couple of episodes on the Grapevine. The one that kind of inspired this was the last one I watched was the Hotep one, because I wanted to touch upon that. I watched the Hotep episode. I watched that episode that you told me about, the men bashing. I watched the natural hair episode. Black people can't be racist. No, I didn't watch that. I didn't watch that. Black people can't be racist. Like, I didn't watch a whole lot of them, because I ended up watching them later on in the evening. So yeah, I'm interested though. Now I'm gonna go watch that, because I want to see what they're saying. Like, their panels be crazy, especially that Hotep one. It's a touchy subject. It's like this. I know dudes who used to hate on lighter skinned dudes but will never date a dark skinned woman and want light skinned kids. Yeah. So what happens when you have a light skinned boy? What would happen if you have a light skinned boy? Me as well. I have immigrant parents. I remember the 3rd grade, I was ashamed of my mom, Panamanian, who didn't look like everybody else's so-called black mother. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Nugget! I'm not cool if I stand. He broke the tablet yesterday, or my tablet that he be playing on his app, so now he only got the one that he used. I know dudes who worship light-skinned women in Trinidad. I know some Venezuelan hookers who come here and get married to dark-skinned blacks and Indians. Yeah, so it's not, and people think colorism is strictly, you know, strictly a so-called African American or Black American thing, where colorism runs deep pretty much anywhere you go. Colorism runs deep in Asia. Colorism runs deep in Latin America. Any place that's kind of suffered from colonialism, colorism has been there. So, but yeah, that Hotep Grapevine that I watched yesterday, I was just like, yo, I know, like, dudes wife and hookers, dudes who come from money just because she's light skinned. Well, I mean, that's everywhere, right? If you look at Jamaica, right, and you look at let's take Popcorn for instance, right? Popcorn, he talking about I think he had a song about bleaching, how he won't bleach and but look at his girl, right? His girl is like, I think she might be Trini, but or Cooley, but she's light, has straight hair and all this. Wow, everybody have the same struggle. On my side, my father is so-called Puerto Rican, my mother is so-called black. Yeah, and these are the things that we have to realize, that we have so much more in common. We all go through a lot of the same struggles, that it's crazy that we use all these, you know, labels to kind of divide us, and we always try to point the finger and use like the Hotep episode that I was watching, right? How they were talking about all the same people too. Yeah, all the same people, because there's only one race, right? There's only one race, and I'll let one of y'all put up what race is the only race that's on this planet, right? So that Hotep episode where they were talking about this agenda, this whole LGBT agenda and this feminism agenda is pushing aside civil rights, and every time that they said civil rights, I was cringing. I was like, oh my God. And the fact that on those panels there, it's not a balanced panel at all, it's not a fair panel, and the people who are in charge kind of let their own emotionalism, kind of let their own ideals and perspective, only speaking for the Aboriginals globally though. They're letting their perspective kind of like run that whole panel, right, Ashley? Because whatever she kind of aligns herself with, that's who she will let speak more, right? If she is kind of offended, or if she doesn't really subscribe to a different ideology, she won't give that person as much credibility as she would give other people, like this whole Hotep thing, right? They had about, maybe two people who I could tell from their specifically identified themselves as Hotep. But seriously, you would not date a light-skinned guy. It's just I'm just not attracted. Holy crap, it's been like 50 years. You have kids now. Oh shoot, so this, what's up? See, so I told you, that's crazy that you're still on here on my channel. I have people, obviously somebody was just on here watching me forever. Yeah, I got kids now. They see me during my young, dumb, and crazy phase. Being mad reckless, talking reckless, yo. If y'all got time, go to my old YouTube videos. Y'all might have a good time laughing at that. That's what I'm saying. I gotta expose myself before anybody try to come up here and try to pop shit. Like, yo, don't be listening to her. She was talking about, smashing girls and doing this and that, and she hates gay people and she hates women, but you would never be attracted to him even if he was a supermore. Is a super more like a super hoe? I mean, okay, so right, I would say, like, when I think of light skin, I think of like European type features. Oh, come on. When I think of light skin, I think of like super European features. So I think of straight hair. I think of, thin, long nose. I think of, lighter. Y'all are funny. Lighter, like super light skin. Like, your skin gotta be like this. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be Wonder Bread. That's when I think of light skin. If you have some melanin towards you, if you have some, heavy melanated facial features, if you have, coils in your hair, I'm Gucci with that. But I've always, the darker the better. The darker the better for me. You know what I'm saying? And what if he's like Chris Brown? I mean, I would be the first, and this is, we're just going to dive into another topic, right here. I'm going to open a whole door for me. People like to act like they're not superficial, like, what's on the outside doesn't matter, right? Well, how are you to kind of engage anybody if you don't recognize what's on the outside first, right? To me, I have to be attracted to you. Like, if I'm out on the street, and this is assuming that I'm single, right? So if I'm out on the street and I see an attractive guy, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'll be curious. If he try to approach me, I'll be cool. It's cool, though. I think we all black, though. A preference is a preference. Yeah. So if I'm out on the street and I see whether he's light skin or dark skin, but if he's cute or whatever, if he's my type, which is tall, like alpha male looking, like I don't really like the pretty boy type, I like rugged type, and it's weird because when I see like a rugged type, a light-skinned dude, I don't know, it's just different. It's just different to me. And again, this is me being completely honest with y'all. Is different. Like if I see like my brother's light skin, right? Well, he's probably my same skin color right now, but he's light skinned, but he has a lot of melanated facial features, right? And melanated type hair. So his hair is curly and stuff like that. So when he starts growing out his beard and stuff like that, he looks straight. But then there's some who look like these hipsters, right? Who grow locks that look like dreadlocks because they're dreadful European locks. What's up, John? That's my homie from Boston. I'm just being real with people, John, letting them know, like, he knows me probably better than I would say anybody like outside of my husband and stuff like that. John know me better than anybody, so he can attest to you know, the things that I spit, whether they're true or not. And if I'm lying, John, you know, I know he's gonna call me out, and he know he gonna call me out if I'm lying. But if it's all superficial, and that's what people don't understand. They're like they like to pretend. Well, no, I want to get to know the person first, and you know, I want to see their personality first. But that's not what first attracts you. People got to be real. You are attracted to somebody if you're out, and I'm not talking about like online or anything like that. I'm talking about out in person, because I would never go online and try to, you know, date somebody offline, or like off the internet. That's just not how I am. I gotta see you in person. I have to be attracted to you in person first. Then I gotta see where your mind is at. So if I'm attracted to you, just like how we've always been, you know, being animal, like, you know, instinctual, even back then in the days during hunter-gatherer phase, right? We based upon our mate on how we perceive that they would further our gene pool. So we're not gonna pick, like at the hunter-gatherer phase, we're not gonna pick a weak male who wouldn't be able to defend our family and defend our bloodline. We wouldn't pick that. So people got to be real. Like, that stuff don't say, we say society kind of influence our preferences. Let's say in the black community, our society puts one over the other. Even when it comes to preference, it doesn't matter if the wider society prefers light skin. I'm trying to figure out what your question here is. But that was my whole point, because the white society makes us think our preference should be lighter skin. I kind of went against that, trying to make my own counterculture. Like, I prefer darker skin. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying like I'm going to go out and find the bluest black person out there, but anybody who has melanin in their skin, who, when I have a child, they're going to come out. Because when I was a baby, you was a white baby, you know, you look white, you look Chinese, so and stuff like that. So there's things that I've dealt with that kind of formed this whole paradigm for me. And that's me personally. You know what I'm saying? So adversely, there may be darker skinned women out here who have heard, you know, you so dark, you this and that, you know, whatever freaking insults that we use to dark skinned women. You gorilla, like in terms of Remy Ma, you know what I'm saying? You gorilla, which make them want to marry lighter. So again, this is all these things that kind of like shape our preferences, right? Because we like to fake and say like our preferences is just based on us, when our preferences are based from our experience and the way that we perceive society, not necessarily what inside society's influence on us. Because in society influence on me that lighter skin is better, but I suffered things through being a lighter skinned woman that I would say no, to me being darker is better. And it seems like you can't win. You can't win. Where's my mod at? Where Barrett at? Get this bot out of here. So yeah, that's that whole colorism thing. I feel like I feel like we kind of pick and choose what we wanna think our colors like. Yeah, you can't win. We just all go back and forth. Exactly. That's my point. Whether you're light skinned, you suffer from, traumas being light skinned. Whether you're dark skinned, you suffer from traumas being dark skinned. You can even be all in the middle and be like, caramel, toffee brown, and low key even don't matter at the end of the day. It don't. It really don't, because at the end of the day, like I said, unity, when anybody looks at me, like especially out here in Japan, right? If I'm wearing my hair out and it's curly and I'm walking down the street, they're not going to see, oh, she's light-skinned this. Pieces to Sahar. She's a light-skinned this, or she's a Latina, or she's mixed, or she's biracial. They're just going to say, oh, that's a black person. That's all they're going to say. Oh, that's a black person. They don't see that that's Latina or mixed, or she's light skinned this, or she's biracial, she's black, and that's what they see until they start speaking to me and I can I can speak Spanish. Like I was saying to somebody, I was walking in one of the Japanese markets out here. I seen European-esque Latina, straight hair, very, very, very fair skin, and she was pregnant. And I said to her, "Felicidades," and she was like, "You speak Spanish?" I just told you congratulations in Spanish. I mean, that's not like something you remember from 4th grade Spanish. That's not something you remember from there. And I was like, yeah, I was speaking to her in Spanish. Yeah, I speak Spanish, blah, blah, blah. And they were kind of like shocked because I had my hair out. My hair was curly. I had the nugget with me. His hair is like mine and his daddy's. He has so much hair, but it's all curled and coiled. And you're Spanish, so even still, even all the way out here, the colorism still follow you. So once we kind of unite and figure out like, yo, we are all one people, we are all Moors, then that kind of fixes everything. So my issue with that whole Grapevine video, there were several issues I had with them. And one of them was I date everything, to be honest, dark-skinned black women, Indian women. I was in a relationship with. That is one thing I cannot do. I dated a European. I feel you. I think we choose our mates according to our childhood experiences. Yes. So what we experience as life determine our preference. It's not necessarily what society is pushing on me. Like I said, I feel you. I feel like you are attracted to whatever you like. You see something and react to whatever environment and cultures you have been exposed to determine that. Good experiences and bad. Yes, exactly, John. So what it doesn't necessarily mean that, because I see on TV all the light-skinned women, that I'm going to necessarily be attracted to light-skinned women, because light-skinned women may have hurt me, because you see dudes, and this is why with colorism with dudes is so it's a real gray area. What did you say? No, Sue, I'll touch that. With dudes, it's kind of like a real gray area, because dudes will be like, oh yeah, I like light-skinned women because they're, this and that, they're pretty, they look exotic, da da da. But then you'll have those same dudes, same dark-skinned dudes, say, nah, I want a sister because light-skinned women seem snobby, light-skinned women seem like, they all that, and a bag of chips, So with dudes, it's kind of back and forth. But with women, I feel like, with women, it's like you have a dark-skinned woman and she feels this way about her skin and da-da-da-da, so she's never going to give light-skinned dude a chance. She's going to stay with the dark-skinned dude. Then you have a light-skinned woman who feels this way about her type of skin and understands her privilege, so she's going to want that same privilege for her child, so she's going to deal with a light-skinned man. It's very rare that you see in terms of perspective for women, light-skinned women approaching dark men and dark-skinned women approaching lighter-skinned men. But what I said no to was the European. I dated a European briefly in high school, right? And I kissed him and made contact with his thin lips, and I was just like, nah, I can't do this. I tried though. So see, I don't hate white people. and or Europeans. I don't hate them. I don't got nothing against them. It's just not for me. Like, I got to be able to feel contact here on our lips. I ain't even go below the belt. Like, who's to say it was down there? If his lips was like that, I couldn't. Not for me. Kudos to whoever can do it, though. Kudos to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Kudos to them. You just don't like them lips, and it happens to be a European. That was the one. It's not just the thin lips. Like I said, I had the issues with the colorism. I had the issues with being called light bright, and you know this, John. Me and you go back and forth with this joint all the time. The issues with the light brights, right? You light bright, you white skin, da 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 da. But all over there traits you don't like. Yeah, overall the traits I don't like. I'm good on European, but the one of my closest homies is European. He's basically so-called black, though. His wife is so-called black. He knows me Moors too. I just rather black women now, to be honest, though, because shit is real out here. I realize people of other races just don't get it. Yeah. And kind of we want to feel, we want to be able to relate to our mate, right? We don't want to be able to. I seen a meme, right? And it was like I put my European onto a hood dude, and it shows like a screenshot of their text message, and the European texts the girl talking about, he feels some type of way, or he's going to go out to a game, and he texted her, I'm going out to make a play, and she couldn't understand the lingo, and he's like, see, this is why I don't mess with your kind. So we want people we're going to be able to relate to. We want people who's going to be able to understand our lingo and understand, kind of like our trials and tribulations. We're going to like how we react to things emotionally, when we see something happening, how we don't have to explain why we're upset about it, or why it shouldn't be said, or why it shouldn't happen. But yes, so going back to the Hotep thing, right? So they were talking about, we got to do this from the bottom up. We got to get everybody their little piece of human rights, and then once everything happens like that, we'll all come together. When I feel like once you give all human rights, once you give human rights, period, you shouldn't just start giving human rights to LGBT. You shouldn't start just giving human rights to women. Once you give human rights, it's human rights. It's not women rights. It's not gay rights. I had one girl tell me racism is over now. Ain't no black women ever. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You want to be able to be with people who can relate, and there are some Europeans who can relate, but there are very far and few. There's actually like a couple of Facebook groups that are European women who want to breed with Moors, with Asiatics, right? Because they say that our genes are stronger, and that the European bloodline is dying out. So they telling the truth, right? They telling the truth. And a lot of them recognize, like, yo, we have the more dominant genes. I don't trust that. Hey, I'm not saying trust it. I'm just saying it's out there. All I'm saying is it's out there. Like I said, with the Hotep episode of The Grapevine, they were talking about, given all these certain rights, and it doesn't matter that, a little piece of this demographic is getting their rights. That's European science too. We ain't saying they know. What you talking about, Barrett? I don't know what you're saying. Because the comments like disappear after like 2 seconds. They don't even give me a chance to read or anything. So, but they were talking about, breaking it down, and once this person gets their rights and another person gets their rights, that's some fetishizing shit. Yeah, my white ex used to talk about my black cock a lot. These girls are slick. Negative birth rate. Yeah, they're trying to get their birth rate up. That's all it is. They're trying to survive. I'm reading right now 100 Maiden Facts About the Negro. You know, syphilis dies out in the African interior. Meaning they don't have syphilis, they no longer have syphilis in Africa, in the interior of Africa. Is that what you're saying? Probably because they got access to all these herbs and stuff like that modern medicine can't duplicate or don't even know about. You know what I'm saying? Even still, or they're more in tune with vibrations and frequencies, and they're able to put in certain vibrations and frequencies into the body to kind of heal it, because that's what we did before, right? When people say music is healing, it's not colloquialism that we just came out of nowhere. It's actually literal, because the frequencies, it can't live for long in their bodies. Oh, okay. Well, why? Why can't it live long in their bodies? Is the question that we need to ask. Not, it doesn't live long in their bodies. Why? And how can we duplicate that? Is it the food that they eat? Is it what their practice is? Is it their spiritual practice? Like I said, the frequencies, right? The frequencies that we're able to heal the body and align everything and make sure it's all in tip-top shape and work in order. But the fact of the Hotep episode, to not get off track there, is they're saying working from the bottom up, where I think they have the bottom up incorrect, because their bottom up is giving gay people their rights, giving women their rights. And after gay people and women have their rights, because women are on the front line for us, right? Women fight for black men so much, right? But at the same time, they have toxic masculinity, and the black man is keeping them down. So they don't even know. Do you know of any antifungal and antibacterial powder or oils to put in products? Anybody know? Sahar probably know. Sahar would probably know. I know there's things that have antifungal and antibody properties, like tea tree oil. I know it's antifungal. Is that what you're talking about? Get out of here, Barrett. Get it, bottom up. Maybe, yeah. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Moringa. Get with Sahar off of here. She's a nutritionalist, and she knows all about these things. She knows more about it than I do. I just know about some things that have these properties. Ginger and turmeric. Yeah. I know we got some Sebi babies on here. But garlic is antifungal. Just FYI. But supposedly garlic is not good for you, say the Sebi babies. But shoot, we've been using garlic forever. You know what I'm saying? Garlic is attributed to a lot of things. It's called 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro. Sebiites. Tea tree oil is good. Lavender essential oil. See, Sahara's hip. She knows all these things. It's by J.A. Rogers. Onions are good for ringworms. If you've seen that video I made on YouTube, onion and banana juice is good to clean your chakras. I'm aware of essential oils, but I need to know which in particular makes a product last for months. Ooh. See, I wouldn't know about that, because I don't make those type of products. Honey, I know honey is good, and it lasts for like freaking a billion years. 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro by J.A. Rogers. Yes, is essential reading for all of us. It's very essential. We should all, kind of that those books should be in our history classes and in our schools for us to learn about. But yeah, we have to attack the control system. I come in here and learn a lot from y'all. See, that's what I'm trying to say. We gotta build, yo. We gotta build. This is not me teaching. I'm not a teacher. I share. Do you know if any of my products are water-based? Water-based products are boo-boo. Water-based products are boo-boo, especially for us. It dries out our skin. Maybe for the European Maybe for the Europeans, it's good for them. Water-based products dry out our skin. But yeah, that a whole bottom-up thing, they don't understand it. And like I said, those panels are so biased. You only have 2 people who are representing the Hotep out of a panel of 10, 13 people, and everybody else is jumping on these people, and they don't have like a good balance. So I wouldn't suggest you taking anything from that, taking anything serious from that. It's good to kind of like understand, like, know thy enemy. It's good to know how these people perceive us, and know that when they're attacking Hoteps, they're attacking everybody. They're attacking Hebrew Israelites. They're attacking Moors. They're attacking anybody who kind of associates. It's the usual non-threatening black male. Yeah, this whole simp culture. This whole simp culture where they kind of they don't subscribe to the whole alpha male thing. They kind of like take a seat back. The black woman is God, and that's it. Shampoo and conditioner, water based. That's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all gotta switch that up, because especially if you have high porosity hair. I just had to fact check the syphilis. What you find, John? Especially if you have high porosity hair, meaning your hair, like my hair is high porosity, right? So your hair, like, holds heat like longer, but it dries out quicker, right? So when you wash and you wet your hair, right, and you come out the shower, your hair is just like after 2 seconds it's dry as heck, right? So you have to put a lot of moisture in it. It's true, it has been decreased, but that's from more knowledge and penicillin. I see what you're saying. That's why I have black soap as the main ingredients. But you have to make sure it's real black soap, because the fake black soap absolutely dries out your skin. I understand what you're saying, John, if you want to put that back up. Yeah, so having high porosity hair, you have to make sure that your hair is moisturized, and using oils. Oh yeah, aloe vera is definitely good. Aloe vera is definitely good as a moisturizer. And straight for the men, good, because you got all these companies now kind of seeing the trend of us going natural and black power this and black power that, and they'll jump on anything. Yes, I do. They'll jump on anything that they know will make them money, because it's all about the profit. It's all about the profit. So you have all these companies saying, oh yeah, it's an African black soap, and they'll just make it black. Decreased because of more knowledge spread around and the use of penicillin. See, coconut oil is good, but I used coconut oil so much on my hair got used to it, and it just soaked up the coconut oil. So I had to use Jamaican black castor oil. Jamaican black castor oil for me is like works wonders, because there's no way moisture is escaping from that. So I mixed Jamaican black castor oil, tea tree oil, and coconut oil, and made like my own little concoction there. That has antifungal and antibacterial. I know tea tree oil is antifungal and antibacterial. I don't know about coconut oil. Yeah, Jamaican black castor oil for the to help grow your hair, and it's like super thick. So ACV rinse breaks the oil down. But see, I don't need oils to be broken down in my hair. I'm talking about this is after I wash my hair. So I wash my hair. I put leave-in conditioner, coconut oil, slightly antibacterial peppermint, and rosemary oil. Yeah, I heard about rosemary oil. Didn't hear about peppermint oil. I think I have rosemary. I might have rosemary. Tea tree is strong, yes. But you have to be careful because I put tea tree oil on the Nuggets hair when he had cradle cap. But he kind of had like an allergic reaction. He started breaking out on his neck, so now I just use Jamaican black castor oil for him to keep the moisture in his hair. So I use leave-in, and then after I put the leave-in, I put in my oil to kind of seal in the moisture, right? Because if you have high porosity hair, your hair just sucks up moisture and it becomes dry and brittle. So just put in leave-in conditioner. This is for all my ladies out here. Just putting leave-in conditioner doesn't do much. You have to seal it after that. So you seal it with the oil. The oil becomes the sealant and retains the moisture in. So once you retain the moisture in with your oil, then you apply your curl cream or your product, right? Your gel, your curl cream or anything like that. This is for women with curly hair, or if men as well too, if you know, because I know a lot of our brothers have locks, you know. I ACV rinse my locks very often because my locks will have so much buildup in oil. Yeah, but they'll say it's been 8 years since I last watched your videos. You aged well. Thank you. I probably still look the same. As long. Big ups to everybody who's rediscovering my channel from 8 years ago. It used to be wild on here, man. Like I said, if you got the time, go check out my older videos. Get yourself a laugh, right? Get yourself a laugh. So yeah. That's how I kind of keep the moisture retention in my hair, because I used to suffer like super dry hair. Like I would wash my hair literally, and 2 seconds after washing my hair would feel like I didn't even put no water to it at all. But after using that it's called the LOC method. After using that method for so long, now my hair retains moisture. Yeah, I turned off the Xbox, so you can't even turn it on anymore. In the related video, I'm seeing Barbie bitches grind my gears. Yep, they sure do. They still do. They still do grind my gears. That was a funny one. Slang talk and YouTube penis is probably another one you'll see pop up, because it's crazy. Those videos got like thousands of views, or like 1,000 views, and I was just like, damn. Was that about Nicki? Yes, that was about Nicki and her fans. That was at the time where Nicki Minaj was like at the height of her popularity, and everybody was Barbie, and everybody wanted to have that body and all those type of things. Wow, I have to go see those videos now. Like I said, I have to expose myself now before y'all start scrolling on this page and seeing all this like, yo, she ain't woke, she fake. She fake. She fake woke. She's fake woke. Yeah, oh man. Like I said, I'll never take any of this stuff down, because you have to see, and maybe y'all can appreciate, the transformation, the glow up. I think I came along when we were doing the whole Dragon Ball Evolution protest. Yo. Oh my God, Hannibal. Talking about my big booty rapper dream, honey, Nicki Minaj. Here you go. After I seen that one live stream. So I had to come over here and expose myself before you had, the Taharkaites coming out here like, yo, you can't be talking about Taharka, and you talking about, Nicki Minaj and all these type of things. That's funny. Her music don't have soul, Hannibal, so I don't know why that's your boo. Her music got no soul. But yeah, I'm gonna open up the floor now for y'all. Hey, we gotta start somewhere. Yeah, I was starting. I think the first video I posted was about Dragon Ball Evolution, and how Fox was ruining anime because they were trying to make every anime into live action, like the Street Fighter and stuff like that. So me and my brother made a little goofy video, and people really enjoyed it. So I started making more videos about that, about stuff, you know, any topics that came to my mind. Like I said, you could really see like where my mind was at. I remember there was a video over there where I was showing off money. Like, that was cool, you know, because that was a cool thing to do. Please don't talk about Dragon Ball Evolution. I'm sorry. I'll throw that away. Because that was a horrible 90% of black anime fans are woke Hotep. Oh man, yo, y'all are funny in here. Y'all are funny, man. Shoot. Damn, I'm glad I kind of brought this up. I could not get into some anime. I gotta put you on, Hannibal. I gotta put you on. Anime is super woke. Anime is super conscious. They tell about the Moors in there too. They got more Moorish representation in anime than in American. I got the X-Men anime. Oh my God. Facts though. Yeah, those are facts. They're most hip. I used to watch Samurai X. Hotep niggas think they're going to defeat the system by turning Super Saiyan God. Yeah. Listen, I don't know if y'all seen Dragon Ball Super or anything like that, but Vegeta turning Super Saiyan God because Beerus smacked Bulma up. Super Saiyan Ra. Beerus smacked Bulma up. I think the Hoteps would kind of, you know, the fake Hoteps would be into that type of thing, you know. Yeah, Beerus smack her up. Put that woman in her place. Those fruity pebble Hotep niggas. Man, I don't care. I don't care what anybody say. The Hebrew Israelites are worse than the Hotep niggas. I saw that Airbender video you had on Instagram about chakras deep but simple. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you got all these cartoons putting out real live information. Mr. Popo and Piccolo, yes they were. Why Nugget just snatched a piece of my bread off of my plate? He taking food off of my plate. Yes, Mr. Popo and Piccolo. If you remember Pokemon, Jinx and Pokemon before they when it was released in Japan, she looked like Mr. Popo. She was like black skin, and she had the jewel in front of her, so she was essentially a gypsy. She was a gypsy, so they were letting you know that gypsies were dark skinned, and as Barrett said before, gypsies are Egyptians. So that's letting you know a real true, you know, skin tone color of those people. But yeah, they don't. What I'm talking about? Ninja Scroll. When you see any of these, yeah, I've seen the Hebrew Israelites throw the Holy Quran on the sidewalk because they're disrespectful. They don't. Their whole thing. A lot of these cats out here. First of all, are Googleites, right? They Googleites. They go on Google. They'll go to a Wikipedia page or a page that one of their other Hebrew brothers told them to go, copy and paste all that information and put it up on their page. Like, that's not even you talking. You just copy that and then get mad when people come at them. Like, of course they're gonna. Piccolo had a turban. Mr. Popo had a fez on. Mr. Popo? I thought Mr. Popo had a turban as well. I'm pretty sure Mr. Popo had a turban. And Jinx had a turban as well. Jinx from Pokemon had a turban. But then again, you'll have people like Brendan come on my page talking about there's no Muslims in Japan. There's no Muslims in Japan. not knowing what the hell he talking about. Yeah, these dudes out here will copy and paste something and act like it's their information until people start going in on them, and they'll be like, "Nah, this is what I researched," but you didn't even do no full research on it. It's crazy. Like they don't know anything about the true Masons, but they'll say it's Satanism. They'll steady be pointing fingers at all these other people, and not knowing, you know, who was really in control. There's nothing I could do about the Nugget. I'm sorry. I try keeping him. Asia is the biggest Islamic continent. Yeah. They are negative. Very few are positive. Speaking about the Hebrew Israelites. Yeah. And then a lot of them, just like even a lot of Moors, don't want to look, you know, beyond. They don't want to see anything beyond what their cognitive dissonance allows them to. I haven't seen it in years. What, Pokemon or Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, Popo had a turban on. A turban, yeah. And I think most of these cartoons and stuff like that, when they want to Pokemon was lit. Their keyword was. Yes, they are very negative. Yes. They are all short-sighted Moors. Popo was Kami's servant. You dropping knowledge on us, Ninja? Yu-Gi-Oh! Too. Oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Definitely. Had the Eye of Ra and everything. The Eye of Horus and everything. Or Eye of Ra. Hebrew Israelites be plagiarizing Google Fast. Yes. Yes. You're not even plagiarizing, you know, like a legit, like from a book or anything like that. You going straight to Google, getting off a Wikipedia page or getting off a Alex Jones InfoWarriors page. You know, like you gotta go outside of your circle if you want to do some real research. You can't expect to. I tried to watch the anime too, but too strange. I'm gonna try and put you on. I'm trying to put you on Hannibal to some good anime that I think might take your mind off of things. Yeah, so it's crazy. You gotta kind of go outside it. Like, say you are a Hebrew Israelite. If you trying to prove you never heard of anime, well, opening your eyes right now, sis. Then talk about Noble Drew Ali, plagiarism, the Circle 7. Who, the Hebrew Israelites? I didn't even know they read the Circle 7. All black anime fans must watch Samurai Champloo. Yeah, Samurai Champloo is dope. Yu-Gi-Oh! Or even Black Samurai. But see, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has I didn't even know they were hip to the Circle 7. Wow, you putting me on. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a lot of I say like more science in it. Like, looking back at it now, they have a lot of more science and they're well, Kemetic science, which is more science. No, he's saying the Hebrew Israelites are plagiarizing the Circle 7, which I didn't even know that they even knew what the Circle 7 was. Yeah, we gotta put Sahar and Hannibal onto some dope anime. Oh, maybe Hannibal. Maybe you'll like Samurai Champloo. It got a heavy hip hop influence. Maybe you'll like that one. Maybe I'll put you on to that. They got a heavy hip hop influence, and Jabez was a dope producer. Afro Samurai too. Afro Samurai does definitely have a heavy hip hop influence. Cowboy Bebop is definitely a throwback. Yes, Nujabes was all over Shampoo's soundtrack. What I think it was I have the original source of Circle 7. He was saying that the Hebrew Israelites plagiarized from the Circle 7, which I didn't even know that they even knew what the Circle 7 was. But see, these dudes plagiarize everything. And a lot of Moors too. A lot of Moors on the social media stuff are plagiarizers. They'll sit there and watch other people's. I know, that's what I'm worried about, of Handball finding out what hentai is and then him never coming back. We'll lose Hannibal to hentai. Oh, I can't with y'all. Y'all a good group of people, man. All the anime seems strange. Niggerty? What is niggerty? Is the main protagonist is Afro-Brazilian. I didn't know we had some what's hentai? You don't want no Hannibal. We'll never get you back. We'll never get Hannibal back from hentai, especially because he love all the big booty girls out here. We'll never get Hannibal back from hentai. Hentai is the anime version of porn, I want to say. Yeah, of porn. Search Oxford for niggerty, do I? Japanese people are crazy, man. Nah, I was, yeah. You said, nah, I'm good. Oh, man. Y'all are funny, man. But yeah, beware these social media guys. Stop it with tentacles. Get out. I knew somebody was gonna put tentacles up there. I knew somebody was gonna put tentacles up on my joint. Y'all are sick. Y'all are so sick. That's one space of the internet you'll never come back from. That's like starving and somebody draws food. Yo, I can't. Yo, I got real tears. Yo, I can't. Oh man. Oh y'all are killing me. Oh, yo, I can't right now. Y'all even got the nugget over here dying. Yo, y'all gotta stop for real. Oh my god. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop. Oh man. Yu Yu Hakusho was dope. Oh, let's get away from the hentai. Let's get away. Give him Angel and Yu Hug. I'll pick him up, but he's busy being a nuisance right now. I will give him a big hug for you though. Whoa. Y'all brought out the real tears. The real tears. Whew. But yeah. So we got anything else we want to talk about before I get ready to get off of here? Oh man. What bothers me about hentai is that everybody comes like they've been hella backed up for years. You'll never get back, Barrett. You'll never come back. You'll never be able to unsee it. Ever. I'm telling you that right now. Just YouTube tentacle monsters. Don't even go searching. Don't even go searching far. Just YouTube tentacle monsters, and that's all you gotta do. Y'all are so sick, man. See, conscious people can have fun too, you see? Japanese are some freaks. That's because they're so repressed. That's why they are so repressed that it all comes out in anime. They got some sick stuff out there. They got some sick stuff because they are so repressed as a people. That's why you gotta you can't be repressing your sexual nature. You can't be repressing any of your nature, actually, any of your creativity, spirit, or anything. Wow, that's cray. Oh, that's not the craziest thing. That is not the craziest thing. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I started it. You did start it, Barrett. I'm gonna put you on timeout. Yeah. Ooh, that was a good laugh, though. I appreciate it. I feel like we ended on a better note today than we did yesterday. Very dark stuff I've seen come out of Japan, yeah. I'm still washing my eyes from seeing Bow Wow on a couch with a dude yelling, "You going too deep." When you talk, do I even want to know what you're talking about, Hannibal? Oh my God. Then I got a mental picture of Bow Wow and tentacle monsters. Man, y'all are so bad. Get out of here. Get out of here. Y'all are a mess. I swear. Oh, shoot. Whew, laughter is so good. I am such in high spirits right now. In such high spirits. So, I exposed a little bit about myself. The village taking turns. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. I exposed Hey Lady Kit. You know what I mean? Before anybody else can expose Hey Lady Kit. Yeah, snuck it. These people out here is local. So, y'all got any questions, any comments right now before I go ahead and get off? Link or didn't happen. Please don't link Bow Wow. Please don't link Bow Wow. Do not link that. Questions, comments, concerns? Did I expose myself? You can't no homo after that. Oh, shoot. Nah? Nothing else? Alright, so is there how the Asian honeys out there? I'll put you on, Hannibal. I'll put you on. But if you like curvaceous, they're very far and few. There's not really a lot of curvaceous women out here. When you coming back on? Good TV. Good TV. Let's see. So today is Friday. I will try to go live tomorrow. My tomorrow morning, it'll be all Friday night. I'll check out Chrissy. Thank you for reminding me. Then you'll probably give me some more material to talk about. Tomorrow I gotta go grocery shop, Comedy Central, absolutely. For the free. I gotta go shopping tomorrow, so I'll be out and about and I'll go live. Sahara's already seen, but I know a lot of you haven't already seen, a little bit of the culture and landscape out here. And then after that, it will be Sunday morning. Yes, it's Friday. It's Friday in Japan. It's 1 o'clock on Friday. So yeah, I'm gonna link with Hannibal after this for our spiritual thing. Good to see that you still look good after all these years. Give thanks, Ninja. Give thanks. Thanks for stopping by. That's like two people from way back when, from the beginning of this YouTube channel, came up and showed love. I appreciate y'all. So yeah, look out for me, y'all, Friday night, my Saturday morning, and I'll be out and about on the town. So thank you, Hannibal. I appreciate y'all. So Peace, much love. Tell them to stay away from Nuggets hair. Oh yeah, that's yeah, they was all touching. Niggas used to be thirsting over you hella hard back in the day. They still do. They still do. Yeah, the little Asian people were all touching Nuggets hair and were all up in his joint. But yeah, peace and love to all y'all. I will check y'all tomorrow morning, your Friday evening. All right, y'all have a good night.